the main thing is we got the blowers here in the dugout. You try and stay around and stay as warm as you can and just watch yourself when you go out on the field.
Read a statement coming out of spring training in Arizona that you reportedly made that this season, with a lack of power on this Cubs ball club, you perhaps are going to have to supply a little bit more as you tried to a couple of years ago, and you might strike out more, might go out of your strike zone to help with the offense. Is that an accurate summation of what you said?
Well, I said if I had to try and hit the ball out of the ballpark a few more times this year, I probably wind up striking out over 100 times and have to sacrifice a little bit of the average. But I said I would speak to Don Zimmer and see how he felt. But within myself, I know I just have to take what the opposition gives me. If I'm going to be pitched away, I want to think opposite field, back up the middle, and not really try and force anything. I witnessed a few years ago that one guy can really carry a ball club, and I don't think I'm going to be the one that's going to have to supply all of the power. We got guys that can hit for power, that can hit for average, and if we stay within ourselves and play as a ball club, stay injury-free, get the good pitching that we think we can get, then we can be very competitive.
Andre, 2 years ago, you had the great MVP year of 40-plus home runs, a lot of RBIs. Last year, almost everybody in baseball's production went down, and I think it's generally agreed upon it was not as lively a baseball last season. What do you feel this year coming into spring training? Is there any indication what kind of baseball they're playing with? I know it's very early. Could you tell anything in spring training?
Well, I think it's the same baseball that we used last year, the year before. The ball was juiced up. If that was the results of balls flying out of the ballpark 2 years ago, well, you know, why not keep the same ball? I don't really see any reason why the companies would in any way tamper with the baseballs. First of all, fans want to see the ball fly out of the ballpark. That's what they pay the money for. And then secondly, you know, as a hitter, you want to go up there thinking that if you hit the ball good, it's got a chance to go out. And if you do hit it good and it don't go out, then there's something wrong with it. But, you know, personally, I just feel that it's all going to even out. Guys like Darryl Strawberry, Canseco hit career-high 40 home runs. So regardless what kind of ball they're using, the people that have the potential are going to put the numbers up.
I think George Bell last season, George Bell of the Blue Jays, experienced a little bit what you did last year, although George drove in over 90 runs, almost 100. Did you find they were pitching around you a lot more last year than the year before and just making somebody else hurt them?
Well, last year was a good example of how patient I had to be in certain situations. It's probably one of the reasons why I wind up hitting up around 300. I did hit the ball to right field, back up the middle, and I just tried to take what the opposition gave me and didn't really go out and try to force anything.
Do you feel a little more comfortable this year after last season? I mean, the Goose wasn't throwing the ball well, no longer with the ball club. No one has picked him up yet. I think he's working out with the Yankees, but not very much success holding leads or saving ball games. This year, you've got 2 saves from Mitch Williams came over into the trade. Rafael Palmeiro, a 300 hitter, somebody had to go. It happened to be Rafael, an outstanding hitter, but you must feel a little more comfortable late in the ball game now to have Schiraldi and Mitch Williams down there.
Well, I think Jim Leyland made a good statement yesterday. He liked to have 2 guys that can be considered closers, and right now in Calvin Schiraldi and Mitch Williams, we have 2 candidates that possess that kind of talent. I think, you know, in Goose's case, you hate to see a guy go out that way. Goose is a Hall of Famer in his own way, and as we made that trade, you know, you hate to lose a guy like Rafael Palmeiro, but you can hurt your ball club when you try and plug a gap or something like that. But we feel Mitch Williams and Calvin Schiraldi going to do the job for us this year. We hope that the starting pitchers can hold the lead or can keep us in the ball game for 5-6 innings and get those 2 guys in the ball game and just close it for us.
Do you feel realistically the Cubs can be in a pennant race in the Eastern Division, especially with the team is overpowering with the starting pitching as the Mets? And of course, Montreal was good last year and will be good again this year. And Pittsburgh, even though they lose Jimmy Gott for a while, one of the best stoppers, but they still have good quality players in the field and some good pitching. Where do you think the Cubs fit in this?
Well, you know, I think if these guys evaluate our ball club, the talent that's here, we'll find that there's no pressure on us. All we have to do is play within ourselves, play team baseball, and try and keep the pressure on the opposition. Teams will probably take us lightly, which will be to our advantage. And if we stay healthy and play team baseball, we can be competitive. We play competitive baseball for the first 5 months or so. Anything could happen that last month of September. You can go in either direction.
Thank you, Andre. Well, one of the best players in the game can beat you with almost anything. His legs, his throwing arm, one of the best. His bat. Today he's going to sit around and watch it snow for a while. Andre, we thank you. Bob?
Atlanta, and you've got to be very pleased with the way your club has been playing at the start of this season.
Well, no question about it. I think for us, confidence is what we need after the last couple of years, because I feel like we got some talent on this club. We've got some good young pitching. If we can score some runs for them, we'll be okay. But we have been getting the good pitching and a little hitting to go along with it.
A very tough year last year, but these pitchers, the young pitchers especially, and your starting staff have got to be very pleasing for everybody.
Well, it is. You know, what I noticed last year, you know, it's tough to learn to pitch in the big leagues when you're not getting any runs.
Sometimes you have to, though, right?
And that's a good way to learn because, you know, you got to work at it. And these guys hung in there and made some great improvements, I thought, in the second half. And that's one of the bright spots I got out of last year was that if we can get some offense for these guys, we're going to win some games.
Dale, you personally had a tough year last year, and again, it was not an easy spring for you, but I know talking to you before we came on the air, you're very confident, for you at least, that things are going to fall in.
Yeah, I haven't done that much, at least the first 4 games, that's for sure. And the spring wasn't too good. Last couple of weeks of spring training, I felt a little better, but I'm feeling okay. You know, it's something I've learned you got to continually work at it, no matter how long you've played. It's something you got to always work at and always try to improve.
The older you get, the more you have to work?
I've learned that. Yeah, I've learned that. The more you got to work during the off season, you know, you're competing with guys out of college that have been on a year-round weight program, you know, in college, and they're just coming out younger and stronger, and there's no question you got to work harder.
What about in spring training? A lot of things that we heard, Dale Murphy going to Atlanta, Dale Murphy going to the New York Mets, did that bother you, and is that still a consideration?
Well, no, I think that has pretty much died out there. Of course, the rumors this winter and this spring were there, and it really wasn't that big of a hassle for me. I was able to concentrate what I was supposed to do, and I'm happy here. You know, all I said was to Bobby Cox, if something came along that they thought, you know, might improve the club, that I would consider it. But you know, no one can be any happier than I am, and I'm excited and optimistic about our club.
How about your new manager, Russ Nixon?
Well, Russ has worked us out good this spring. We did more running than I'm used to in spring training, but he's been good trying to get us to think the right way and you know, just go about it in a good business-like manner and have some confidence in ourselves. We got to turn this thing around, and we know it's going to take a lot of work, and Russ has made sure that we know that.
Well, good luck. If maybe if it lets off, we'll get today's game in. You never know.
Well, I'm ready to play. I'm from Portland, Oregon, so
this is just like home for you, right?
Right.
All right, we're going to go over to the Dodger dugout where Vin Scully is with Tommy Lasorda, the Dodger manager.
All right, thank you, Tom. I think it was Mark Twain who said everybody talks about the weather, nobody does anything about it. But actually, baseball has with domed stadiums. But there is a frustrating note, I think, to it all. It's 100 degrees in Southern California, and here is the Los Angeles team with the possibility of being cold and rained out.
Well, I'm surprised, Vinny, because you would think that we could open the season on the West Coast. San Diego, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Houston. There's 4 games that you know pretty well are much going to be played. So we're losing too many games in the East. When this weather gets bad here in the East, it's bad all over. So consequently, we're going to lose a lot of ball games. So we're hoping that it'll stop, but it doesn't look good at this moment.
No, it doesn't. Now, one thing about the weather, it can be a blessing for some teams. For instance, if you're in a losing streak, if it rains, you have a chance to sit back and regroup. If you're on a winning streak, you don't want to ever be rained out. And in this instance, it's a complete turnabout. It's the Braves on a winning streak and the world champion Dodgers who are on a losing streak. So maybe you'd feel that you'd profit by a rainout.
Well, that's something no one really knows. I remember in the playoffs against the Mets when we had that rained out game, why I think it helped our ball club. It just gave us the extra energy that we needed. So a lot of times, you're right, it does help ball clubs and hurt ball clubs. So we're hoping that we can play because we need to play. We've got some guys on our ball club that hadn't played much in the spring, and they need to play because of injuries.
One of the questions we hear asked more than any other as we go around the country, how is Fernando Valenzuela? He pitched last night. He lost. He struck out 8 along the way. What did you think about his performance?
I was very impressed with him, Benny. They scored 3 runs off of him in the 1 inning, and they were very, very lucky to get those 3 runs. When I say lucky, because of the fact that with 2 outs and nobody on, Lonnie Smith blooped the ball over the first baseman's head. The next guy hit a routine ground ball to the third baseman, Hamilton, and as he went to pick the ball up, it took a bad bounce over his head. And then Murphy hit a ball up through the middle that Randolph fielded beautifully, and as he was getting ready to flip the ball to the shortstop, he slipped and the ball fell out of his hand. So they didn't really hit him that hard. I said this in the spring. Fernando is throwing without pain, and each time he goes out there, his arm is going to get stronger. So last night was the best I've seen him throw the entire time.
Tommy, a World Championship ball club has lost 3 out of 4. It is a poor fielding team for the moment. It's made 8 or 9 errors in the first couple of games. What are you going to do about it?
Well, we're going to, as I told him yesterday before the game, I said we can't be giving up runs. We cannot allow the other team to score runs and give it to them. So consequently, we've got to do something. We've got to work on our fielding. We got to be able to do the things. A couple of the errors that we made were throwing errors, which those things are going to happen. But I know one thing. Our ball club is going to hit. We haven't been hitting the ball like we're capable. We've only played 4 games. I'm going to tell you something, Vinny, and you can remember this. It's inevitable. Every team in the major leagues, no matter how good they are, they're going to lose 1/3 of their games. This is before the season even begins, which is 54 games. And every team in the major leagues, no matter how bad they are, they're going to win 1/3 of their games, which is 54. And the other third is going to separate you from the top to the bottom. And those 3 games that we have lost are just part of the 54 that we're supposed to lose.
You know, I heard you say that before.
Well, I'm saying it again.
Let's go to Marv Albert.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. That I might have been given a bad grade, but I've got an awful lot to live for.
My main ambition was to get along well enough with whoever I was playing with so that they would realize that there wasn't any friction because I was color and they were white. I mean, we could play together. I think that was my main ambition, was to break down that barrier, not so much for me to go to the major leagues. I just wanted somebody to take over. I didn't care who it was.
Back the throws. There's a long back. I can't be, I believe. The Giants won the pennant. The Giants won the pennant. The Giants won the pennant.
Yeah, I knew it was gone all the way. All I kept saying was sink, sink, sink. All I remember is seeing Path go up against the wall, and then I was walking to the clubhouse. All I kept saying was, why me, why me? Why did it have to be me?
On this sad day, I would like to address my thoughts to baseball fans everywhere. I am confident no one wants to strike, not the players, not the owners, and certainly not the fans. Yet we have one.
There's a drive into left field. That ball is going, and out of here. Henry Aaron has just tied Babe Ruth in the all-time home run parade.
You gotta start from way down the bottom when you're 6 or 7 years of age. You gotta let it grow up with you. And if you're successful and you try hard enough, you're bound to come out on top. Just like these boys have come to the top now.
Drops. We're visiting with Oral Hershiser, and before we actually visit, Oral, I want to show you a quote attributed to you as far as going into this year. I'm up for the biggest fall of my life. If I don't win 20 games, or if I have an ERA that'll be 3 or over, well, I'm going to be a failure. Now, what about that quote? First of all, is it true, and have you put that much pressure on yourself?
Well, the quote is true, but the quote came in context of what I thought the fans' perception and the media's perception would be of me this year, in the fact of coming off such a great year. And with the big contract and the Dodgers winning the World Championship, I thought if I don't go out and win 20 games and have an ERA under 3, that people are going to grade me as a failure. But as a person, I really grade my success on just giving my best, and that's the way that 23-win season came about last year. That's the way the Cy Young Award came about and the World Series MVP, and I'm just going to go out and do the best that I can.
Did you feel any particular pressure in taking the mound in Cincinnati with the 59 scoreless innings, and the fact that you were suddenly Oral Hershiser pitching against your own reputation?
Well, I didn't feel any pressure in the game. I really thought the streak was over. I felt like the streak was over last year. I gave up a lot of runs in Japan. I gave up a lot of runs to the Tigers in spring training. I gave up 10. But to me, the streak was going to get tied together with an asterisk, and it was a lot of rest in between. It was completely different games. They could tie it together, but for me, it was over.
it was over, and yet at the same time, the old story, what have you done for me lately? It's a brand new year.
It's a brand new year, and we're really excited. This ball club is 1-3. We're excited, though, about the talent in this clubhouse. Eddie Murray and Willie Randolph are with us now. We've added some new pitchers, Ray Serge and Ricky Horton's over here again. So I'm excited about this ball club. I think that we have a good club. We've got a lot of talent, and it's just up to health and some breaks, and if we can play up to our potential.
Where are you early in April of '89 as compared to early in April of '88?
Well, I think physically I'm right on track or even ahead of last year. Coming out of spring training last year, I had an emergency appendectomy, so spring training was a little setback for me last year, but now I really feel good physically. It's the mental part of the game that's different for me. I have a lot of exposure that I have to deal with. I had a lot of outside pressures, and I have to find a tunnel vision and a way to get away from all those things and really narrow my concentration when I get on the mound.
Well, I'm sure you'll be able to do it.
Well, I'm going to work hard at it.
All right, Oral, thanks so very much. Now let's go back to Chicago and Bob Costas.
Thus far in the series. Top of the second. Dwight Evans, a heavy hitter throughout this 7-game set, steps up.
High drive into deep left center field. That one might go all the way. It is gone. Home run, Dwight Evans.
It was a fastball, and Evans really jumped on it. He was a little bit out in front on that ball. He fouled off, but this one, with the swing, he timed it perfectly and drove it a long way.
Dwight Evans' second home run of the series and his 7th run batted in, and it's the Red Sox who score first and lead 1-0.
Next batter, Rich Gedman. He slaps it foul with his stick, leading to some slapstick. But what follows is no laughing matter for Ron Darling.
And that's a drive into right center field. Strawberry going back to the wall. At the wall, leaps in the air. One-hands it. No, he missed it. The right hand of Dale Ford started up and then circled to indicate home run. And Strawberry coming with an inch. It's gone, and the Sox lead 2-0.
We've seen a number of these plays. He gets the glove on it. His glove is over the fence. It looks like he's going to rob Gedman as he finds the fence of the home run. He gets above it. It hits the glove, and then his arm appears to hit the fence. Over it goes. He was looking for it and realizes he doesn't have it. We saw Henderson do that in the playoffs. We saw Dwight Evans do it, and now here's Strawberry.
So it is 2-0 Boston on back-to-back home runs.
Still in the second inning, man at second base, Dave Henderson, and 2 out. And here's Wade Boggs.
And as a hopper by the diving Santana, Mookie's going to come up throwing, but Henderson, because of that big lead, will score easily. And it is 3-0 Boston.
It stays that way for a while, and some Boston rooters begin to believe their Sox can shake off the specter of the loss in Game 6. Hurst fans Tuffle in the 4th. Bruce is masterful into the 6th, looking for his 3rd victory of the series. But with 1 out, Mazzilli grounds a pinch hit to left.
So Mazzilli is trying to do tonight what he did successfully Saturday night as a pinch hitter and ignite his ball club. And Mookie Wilson, the batter. Line drive into left field, base hit. And the Mets are alive with 1 out in the 6th, and Tim Tuffle coming up. And they're all up on a 3-1 count. Ball 4 to load the bases.
Talk to Hurst, if nothing else, to break the mood. Somebody come in and just ask him how everything is.
Johnny Mac.
Yeah, somebody's got to do it.
It's time for the boss to make the visit. Keith Hernandez has lined out to center and fly deep to right. He'll be the hitter. Outfield straight away. Fastball hit into left center field. Base hit. In comes Mazzilli. In
game is tied, and in the top of the 7th, the Red Sox pinch hit unsuccessfully for Hurst. Now here's the beleaguered Calvin Schiraldi facing Ray Knight in the bottom half.
High drive into deep left center. Back goes Rice. This one is gone.
But the Mets are not finished. They jump on Schiraldi and then Joe Sambito for 2 more in that 7th inning and lead 6-3. Do McNamara's Sox give up? No. Buckner singles. Then Rice singles. And it's Evans with 2 on, nobody out.
And that's going to be hit into right center field. That's a base hit. And even Buckner on one leg will score easily. And let's watch Rice. They're going to wave him in. Backman has no play, and the Sox have come back with 2, and the Mets lead is now 6-5.
But then a hard liner by Gedman is caught by Backman at second, and the Red Sox fail to get Evans home. They still trail by 1 as Strawberry leads off against Nipper, last of the 8th.
High drive into deep right field. Evans back at the wall. Gone.
Tack on another one in that last half of the 8th and lead 8-5. Jesse Orozco retires the first 2 Red Sox in the 9th. And now it's Barrett.
Got him.
So here's to the New York Mets, world champions of 1986. But even as we salute them, respect and admiration for the gallant and seemingly always star-crossed Red Sox, who had a similar comeback of their own in the playoffs against the Angels, and who came closer than any team ever has to a world championship without getting it in 1986. That title, that trophy, belongs to the New York Mets.
Right, we're in Wrigley Field, Chicago. And this is the Pirate Trio of the Pittsburgh Pirates, even though there's more than 3. Okay, guys? Ready? Hit it. Here she goes. Hit it. 1. Hit it.
1, 2. 1, 2, 3. The weather outside is frightful, and I am so delightful. I don't want to play. So let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Yes, a pirate's life is a wonderful life, a roving o'er the sea. Give me a career as a buccaneer. It's the life of a pirate for me. But apparently no Pirate baseball today, and we've got to bail out. See you next week with a doubleheader. Most of you will see the Twins and the Yankees, followed by the Mets and the Cardinals. But for now, 3 very sad words. No game today.